Chapter 8, the process. The process is as follows. Thoughts plus words plus actions is equal to feelings. Your feelings are the measurement of how and what you are thinking. The words you choose to relay these thoughts and the actions that follow. When your thinking is reflected in the way you speak to yourself and others and mirrored in the way you treat yourself and others through your actions, then 9 times out of 10, your feelings would reflect that also. I can't imagine that person that thinks positively, speaks positively, and whose actions are also positive has a lot of negative feelings. It just doesn't work that way. Negative feelings are the result of negative thoughts, negative words, or negative actions. I think the definition of an evil or bad person, therefore, would be the result of negative thoughts, negative words, negative actions. Bearing in mind that a person willingly thinking, speaking, and doing negativity might not necessarily get negative feelings due to the fact that this is exactly what they want, and therefore the result might actually be good feelings. The way I see it is, if there's no conflict of interest in the three, then potentially the feelings will also reflect positively to the person in question. Hence, a good person is actively willing positivity and an evil person actively willing negativity, and both seemingly getting gratification from doing so. That's why a serial killer sees no issue in stalking and murdering defenseless people and actually getting some form of pleasure from this undertaking. The only time there will be a change in the person in question's feelings is if there happens to be, for any reason, a change in their thoughts, words, or actions. For example, a person plagued with addiction might have the best thoughts, speak the best words, but because their actions speak otherwise, then this would result in negative feelings due to the conflicts of interest. Same would be said of a person that had good thoughts but associated with the wrong crowd, where the general topic of conversation was negative. No matter how good their actions to begin with, their feelings would always somehow be negatively affected. You can't pick and choose on any conflicts of thought, word, or action must be measured in feeling. And remember that everything manifests and compounds at a faster rate through focused feeling. So the good person can only stay good for so long while consistently thinking and speaking negatively. They are each side of the same square, and one cannot exist without the other. It all starts in your head with your thoughts, your inside voice, your mirror, call it what you want. The way you choose to think or speak to yourself is what is going to define your character and the way you speak to others and act. As mentioned previously, you can either be your own best friend or your own worst enemy. You are your own corner man in a boxing ring, financial advisor, priest in a confession booth, board of directors to your own company, sensei, you name it. The point is this: your thoughts are a reflection of the kind of relationship you have with yourself, the way you choose to speak to yourself, and what you let the minutes of the meeting focus on. It is easy to cast doubt, let your thoughts run away with you, and to start believing that your mind has a life of its own. But that is not the case. Your thoughts are your employees and they work for you. And that is how it works. You are the managing director and owner of yourself. You set the minutes of the meeting and the direction of thought you would like to take. The sooner you understand and accept this, the better it will be for you. There is an art and science to thinking, which you are going to have to study to master your own mind. In my case, I find that simply trying my best to be conscious of the thoughts going through my mind seems to work fine. By just being a passenger and observing over time, I've learned and taught myself how to stop, delete, and replace the thoughts that I know are counterproductive. The thoughts that I know shouldn't be crossing my mind and that I shouldn't be thinking. You'd be surprised if you could get a glimpse into the mind of others how many people allow their thoughts to just run away with them. Overthinking possibilities, creating unnecessary anxiety to micro situations, giving more thought than they should to situations, encounters, or people that shouldn't be worth their time of day. There are many techniques of meditation that will help with clearing, training, and focusing the mind. When I meditate, I usually have a few minutes where instead of settling my mind, I take inventory and watch all the thoughts come and go. Russell Simmons. The next step is the words you choose to use, which are going to be the direct results of your thoughts and your inner dialogue. First, we want to look at the power of the word. Word is bond. The word is a bond or contract. Every word uttered is a legal spiritual contract set by the person saying it with themselves and others. Words cast spells. Knowing which words to use, when to use them, and with who to use them with is power. Words have been used by initiates in every language from the beginning of time for incantation and to cast spells. A hypnotist, for example, speaks to their subject in a particular way with a specific tone, saying a specific set of words in a precise order to put them under their spell. This is all not by chance, and there's also a science and art to the good use of words. There is nothing in this world that cannot be achieved through dialogue or the use of words. Words have been at the forefront of starting and stopping wars, falling in love, and the explanation of life as we speak. Bearing that in mind, it would be wise to understand their power, and in knowing the power they possess, learning how to use them and use them well. The power of the word has to be harnessed firstly through your inner dialogue, by never speaking to yourself in a negative or derogatory manner. All your inner dialogue should be with positive and powerful words. The most powerful words when looking inwards is, and has always been, I am. Whatever words precede these two words are what is going to define the person that thinks or speaks them habitually. When talking to yourself, you cannot precede I am with things like not sure, not good enough, weak, unhappy, sad, not able, not strong enough, not brave enough, not capable, not beautiful, not pretty enough, and the list goes on. I am should always be followed by positive and powerful words like I am great, I am beautiful, I am pretty, I am handsome, I am strong, I am powerful, I am willing, I am brave, I am courageous, I am happy, I am able, I am more than good enough, I am rich, I am capable, and the list goes on. That is the voice of your inner corner man. You cannot jump back in the fight with a chance of winning if your corner man is casting doubt, giving you negative and losing guidance, and has no faith in you. You have to make it a habit to reassure yourself through your inner dialogue always. That at least you're fully in control of. No matter what your environment might be, it is solely in your hands how you choose to accept it and how you then choose to speak to yourself. God said to Moses, I am that I am. And he said, say this to the people of Israel, I am has sent me to you. Exodus 3:14. This is how you can center yourself when dealing with adversity, people, negativity, or whatever else your environment throws at you. We are all at first going to have insecurities, not knowing what we do not know. Wanting to be part of the group or wanting to belong and not feeling isolated or left out. Wanting to belong does not necessarily mean that we have qualified and understood exactly what we want or that it is good for us. The pressures of our environment and from other people whilst growing up is always going to bring with them uncertainty and forced change, which can bring on the feeling of stress. This is where you have to always be developing your inner habits of thoughts and speaking to yourself in the way you should. Make sure you make it a habit of being the master of your I ams. Because if you don't, then you will fall prey to people that do master theirs. Some people are always going to be in secret competition with you, trying to put you down and convince you that you're not quite what you think you are. Some are doing this subconsciously, judging you by their own standards, and some will be doing this intentionally, but the reason for both is still the same, and that is to try to get control over you. Those judging by their own standards just think they know best and are giving you a snapshot of their I ams and inner dialogue. The other people intentionally projecting negativity onto you are solely and purely to control you. You have to make it a habit to control your I ams and use them as soon as you become aware of influence or negative self-talk creeping in. Just a simple repetition of the opposite of how you feel in your own mind at the time will do. For example, I'm brave when feeling scared, or I'm happy when feeling sad. Can make a hell of a difference to the way you handle the situation you find yourself facing. Find it helpful also to have a list of my I ams that I believe make me the person I am today. I repeat these throughout the day as and when I see fit, and make these the pillars of my character and being. With these I dictate my principles, the way I see the world, and the way I carry myself through it. You could say these words or my I ams are my bond or contract with myself. Now, I'm not saying to become delusional and brainwash yourself to block out the reality of whatever your situation and environment might be or who you are, as that would not help at all. You cannot convince yourself you're something you're not. Or refusing to face yourself will bring on even more problems of their own. You wouldn't try to convince yourself that you're a good or positive person if your thoughts, words, or action dictated otherwise. Instead, it would be wiser to honestly look in the mirror at your thoughts, words, actions, feelings, to see where you might need to focus. A man is known by the company he keeps. Aesop. The words you use and others use around you will always play a major part in your inner and outer dialogue. Your inner and outer dialogue is responsible for your quality of character and your actions. You are the sum of the company you keep, the people you surround yourself with, the words you speak, and ultimately the things you do. The best cliche is someone that claims to be nothing like the group of people they associate with. There can be only one or two answers to this. They are a fool and not aware of themselves, their surroundings, or the effect on them at all. Or two, they are fully aware of their surroundings and trying to fool you. Any which way, the result is always the same, and they are trying to control you. It is not, however, their fault, as it is your job to do your due diligence and make the decision as to who and what environment you will allow to influence you. No matter what you do, your thoughts, words, and actions are open to influence by your environment. It is down to you to know yourself and to understand the levels of influence you choose to surround yourself with. Actions and words outwardly are the most concrete way of reading people. People's actions will always tell you exactly who they are. Words can always be tailored for effect and used for effect. Actions, on the other hand, can't be hidden. And if so, they can only be hidden for so long. Thinking, speaking, and doing positivity is my definition of good quality of character. And anyone that possesses good words and actions, by default, has good thoughts, good feelings, and a good heart and spirit. You can actually feel it when you associate with people like this through the natural vibration that touches everyone they encounter. When dealing with others, simply pay very close attention to the words they use and their actions and deeds. People will tend to tell you whatever they think you want to hear to get what they really want from you. But the only way to tell if a person is really genuine is to also watch what they do and how they treat others. Now, as long as their actions match up to their words, then you kind of know that this person is genuine to themselves and can therefore be relied upon to be genuine to you. It's exactly that. If a person is not capable of being genuine to themselves and consistent with their words and actions with you or anyone else, then that person by default has bad thoughts and feelings towards you also. If their words and actions don't match, then that person is insincere and no one you should have in your life, environment, or space. Actions speak louder than words. Internally, your feelings are your tool, used to measure what kind of person you really are. If you take pleasure in thinking bad about others, speaking to and treating others in a negative fashion through your actions, then it would be safe to say that you're not a good person. There are a lot of people that behave in such a fashion but then go home and are the most loving father, mother, son, daughter, uncle, auntie, etc. It does not change the fact that their actions and deeds dictate exactly who or what they are. It would be wise not to let yourself fall into that category and justifying your bad habits. There are various psychological terms for people of this nature like narcissists, psychopaths, sociopaths, etc. And the majority of people you encounter on a daily basis will fall into these categories one way or another. Consistency is key to a good quality of character. Consistently looking at yourself and making sure that you and you alone are in control of your thoughts. Making sure that you are in control of your environment and who you choose to allow access to you. Protect your spirit, as this will in turn be the direction for your collective thought process and conversation. Consistently making sure that your words and actions are an accurate reflection of the person you think you are and the way you choose to present yourself. In being consistently aware of how you're feeling, you can then accurately and honestly see which side of the square is being affected by what or who or where you need to pay the most attention. You can easily judge the character of a man by how he treats those who can do nothing for him. Malcolm S. Forbes. Your feelings are the most powerful of the four, as whatever you focus them on manifests faster and more. Your feelings are not just your radar, they are so much more. And that is why you have to make sure you're aware of how you feel and understand what you need to do to change how you feel when you have to. If you're ever not feeling right, then all you have to do is check your thoughts, words, and actions. The goal is to think right, speak right, and do right. And in doing so, you automatically feel right. In feeling right, your spirit, the world, God, or however you choose to see it, will give you an abundance of whatever it is you choose to consciously or subconsciously focus on. What you do not want is to send mixed signals out, which will result in manifestation of exactly that, negative or uncertain situations, people, etc. You have to be consistent in positive and powerful thought, word, and action, as that is the definition of the kind of person you can rely on, want in your life, or you should want to be.